I don't have a dream. I don't have an aspiration right now. I think like if we keep setting ourselves to have dreams and like goals, we're just gonna set up ourselves for failure when we don't get these goals achieved. Just let life take you. You know, it's like life is like the river. Like just follow the stream of the river. Sawadee krab, everyone. Welcome to Aim's Hour. I am the special guest for today's Sanpiti Sittipunt. I hope you're looking forward to everything that's gonna happen. Don't expect too much.
Now you are like in the zone, in the interview mode now.
Is this being filmed yet?
Yes.
Yeah. I missed the cue.
ค่ะสวัสดีครับแซนดี้สวัสดีครับ One thing I just found out about your father is that he has a good sense of humor.
Yeah. But I think he has a very dad joke. That he said on the yeah. There's so many dad jokes I can think of. Yeah. I don't want to say them now. I don't want people to get some ideas.
Could you please share like what kind of joke?
Okay, so you know how that's toilet paper, right? He gave me like, this is the joke he found on the internet, right? Yeah. I think he read it in some book and he told me this joke. So like toilet paper, right? Yeah. You know what he said to me when he gave me the toilet paper? Yeah. He gave me note like I was watching TV and he went to the toilet, came out, get some toilet paper, and he's like, here you go. And I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do with it? And he said, the toilet paper is terrible.
Why?
Oh, and then because terrible, right?
Terrible.
It's such a classic dad joke. Yeah.
Yeah. So the toilet paper is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a bad joke. And I asked him, where did you get that joke? And he said, oh, the internet.
Yeah. Because I went to the FCCT and he was giving a keynote in English. It was like I jumped one time and everything changed because like he went to a place and then like he go there and jump and people take a photo.
Yeah.
And yeah, he mentioned that joke and everyone is like laughing. They're laughing about like 8 years old. They're like
the road.
TikTok. Yeah, the road.
I was watching that lecture. Is that there was a road they built Rama 3, Rama 2. Can't remember. The road hadn't been repaired, but when he came to the office, it's magic.
Yeah.
He just jumped. He took a photo of that road.
Yeah. I think a lot of people already know that you have difficulties with your oral speech when like to speak when you first born, right?
Yeah.
People know that, and your father said that the best thing that ever happened to his life is to hear your words.
Yeah. I think it's an honor. I think it's like it's like a testament. It's like it's showing how far I've gotten. Like to be able to like overcome difficulties like this. Like this whole like hearing aid. Like when I was born and then growing up, there's a lot of challenges in my life. So yeah, to be able to like progress and like overcome your challenges was I think something that really gave me a great deal of like motivation. It definitely inspired me.
Do you remember it?
No, I remember my first word was up.
Up?
Yeah, up, like up.
You recall it, or your father?
My parents had to make me remember. I can't remember much of it. Yeah. It's very scant.
When I see him live with you, he was so happy.
Yeah.
Like the happy vibe came around him.
Yeah.
Because I asked him once, like, what make you happy the most? He said, when you say anything, it's just, when you utter words, it just make him happy.
Yeah. I think for me, it's the same thing as well, I think it's not just the words. I think to see him work hard for something, like to see him get this far, and I'm just proud of him,
How old are you now?
I'm 22.
22. Do you have that feeling that like a lot of 22 does is the thirst to change the world, something like that?
I think at 22, just think, I should do something with my life. At 22, like people expect you to be president or something. People say, you should be able to cure something, Some people joke, like, at age 22, what I was doing, I was unemployed.
Yeah.
They just expect people to be like miracle workers. I think it's okay to be ambitious. Ambition is key. But it also takes patience. You need to reward yourself with patience. You need to be able to sit back, let things happen naturally. You know, don't get overconfident. Don't get ahead of yourself. You know, unless you're gonna fall into like the mouth of stupid kind of thing. My dad always talks about this concept.
Yeah.
It's his favorite concept.
Yeah, we have talked about it. Sandy, I have talked to your father quite several times, and he actually mentioned you, and I think you might have heard him talking about Mount Stupid.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, to credit to him, you know, in all fairness, I was a bit arrogant, you know.
Mount Stupid. And you already admit that you have been through that. And we don't know that we might fall into that trap again.
I think for me, I'm still in that phase. I'm still in that phase, you know. I'm still thinking, oh, I know this. Oh, I like, you know, because I'm a history student, right? I just graduated with a bachelor degree. And whenever I talk to people about history, I'm like, oh, I'm qualified to talk about this because I'm a historian.
Yeah.
I don't even have a PhD yet.
Yeah.
That I'm more qualified to talk to you about history than Wikipedia.
We have talked about, you know, like ambitions and objections and goals. So what is it for you now? Maybe in the next 3 or 6 months?
I don't have a dream. I don't have an aspiration right now. I think like we keep setting ourselves to have dreams and like goals. We're just gonna set up ourselves for failure when we don't get these goals achieved, you know. So then just have low expectations. Just let things take the course, you know. Just let life take you, you know. Ebb and flow.
Yeah.
It's like life is like the river. Like just follow the stream of the river.
Yeah.
Just follow where the fishes play, you know.
Yeah.
Like when you started doing college admissions essays, there's will be some prompts that ask, you know, what do you see yourself in like 5 years time? Like there'll be like college essays and like, you know, like applying for college. You come across these sort of like questions. I think for me, I never really put that thought into it, you know. I never like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I never thought, oh, I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to be a firefighter or whatever. I never think about that.
Yeah.
I just think that if I think too much about it, I don't get what I want. I'm going to be disappointed. I don't want to be too disappointed. You need to set a low bar for yourself, so that when you get to a certain level, right, you become like a writer or something. You become successful, and then you can set even higher bar and you keep climbing, because there's going to be room for improvement. People are always going to reach their peak. Just be yourself, you know. Don't get yourself like bogged down by like, you know, narrow-mindedness, you know. Don't follow like just like single-minded, you know. Just be open-minded, be open to new ideas. You never know where life may take you.
I'm coming to the topic that, I mean, like if you feel like you are not comfortable to discuss about it, you can just tell me anytime.
Yeah.
We have talked about this off record, but the mental health.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with it too, right?
Yeah, I think for me, you know, my mental health journey was way before COVID, you know. You know, growing up, you know, as a teenager, I had a lot of anger management problems, you know. I had a lot of emotional outbursts towards my parents, you know. There's so much, you know, pent up, you know, behavior. So yeah, there was a lot of frustration with me growing up. So yeah, I have a lot of emotions, you know. I was a really emotional person. I couldn't control my emotions. So sometimes I would just be like really angry, really moody, and then not be able to like control my feelings.
And how did you come to terms with, you know, dealing with your flaws, dealing with your anger?
You know, truth be told, you know, from, you know, a long time ago, I thought myself was a very self-centered person, really vain, you know. I was very stubborn, you know, too stubborn to admit, you know. You can talk to my parents, they say that I'm very stubborn-headed. Like, you know, it's very hard to change my mind, you know. So I think it just takes, you have to be able to, you know, build up confidence. You need to like step back and see the bigger picture. At first, I was like resistant to the idea of seeing a therapist, because I thought like if I saw a therapist, it would be considered weak, like below me. But once I started seeing a therapist and started getting an idea of what was happening to me, so I think, I just started realizing that mental health is like a bigger problem in society that we need to confront. So there's every day I always face a new problem. I always face a new obstacle. But in the end, I know that I have to overcome these obstacles. I can't just let it like stop me from being my authentic self.
I think it's important to understand yourself too. Yeah.
I think for me, the one thing I've always learned is like, before you love others, you need to love yourself first. You need to give yourself the same kind of respect and self-love you would give to other people.
And it takes a lot of courage to admit that we have flaws and everyone has it.
Yeah, I think we're not perfect, If everybody was perfect, we wouldn't have any conflict, any war, We wouldn't have any division in society. Everybody's flawed in their own ways. We have our perfections and imperfection, We have some good things and some bad things. We cannot keep hiding it.
Thank you for opening up.
Yeah, thank you.
Because it takes a lot of trust, and I want you to feel comfortable talking about it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Mental health is like such a, in society across the world, it's just an endemic problem, It's such a prevalent problem in society. And then the fact that there are people out there like, they were willing, like you and I, to be able to like speak about it publicly. And it takes a lot of guts, And you're doing the right thing by doing it. The key was to having a big support system, like we talked about this just earlier. Being able to like ground yourself in a support system, to have people around you, they're willing to accept you for who you are.
Yeah, and you have a good support system now, right?
Yeah, I feel like my parents, and it's just the people in my community, the people in my network.
Yeah, I think a lot of us, I hope that including me as well, like try to welcome you with warming, like support that we are there for you, because now that you are back, it feels a lot easier, because when you are in Seattle, it's just a bit difficult for us to reach out to you. Yeah. So, welcome home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You should have some.
I'll have some. I'll have a smiley one. Should have the pink, green, or
some?
purple one.
You like some?
One Jan.
You like some?
She's too perfect for us. She's like,
okay.
I'm too cool for your cookies.
How about you, Mike? Okay. It's flourless, dairy-free, and gluten-free.
Yeah. You want some of this?
Yeah, sure.
Which one do you have? The pink one? Is it pink one?
Yeah, pink one.
Yeah. What color is mine?
Pink.
Pink?
Yeah.
We both have pink. And that's a rainbow one too. Rainbow. Just like your shoes.
Rainbow shoe?
Yeah.
Rainbow shoe?
I think we should share some cookies.
Yeah. Some weed.
You want me to feed you?
No, it's okay. I'll feed you then.
You want to feed me?
Yeah.
You can feed me. You want to?
No, you can do. Are we going off script?
One Jan.
Come on.
We all should have one, because we are inclusive. One Jan.
Okay, you will bring.
Pinu.
Thank you.
She's taking one. See? Why don't you take one?
Here you go. Thank you.
Do you have any friend in America called Monday?
No, it's a very uncommon name.
Yeah.
Some people call it. In America they call it a weird name.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get like some people ordinary name like John, Adam.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Sanpiti.
Thank you ครับ คุณเอม
ขอบคุณครับคุณแสนดี It's a very refreshing hour to talking with you in English.
Yeah, it's a great honor to be here. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for more Sandy and Aim adventures. Are you okay, One Chan?
She's like,
Now, mate, now.
Having a big headache right now. Like, what to do with this footage? Gonna have like, she's gonna take a leave, like.
You should resign. You should tomorrow before he comes to the office. Send me your resignation letter.
if it's Sunday, if she coming back on Monday tomorrow and resign,
Yeah.
there's a clear reason why.
And then give no reason to resign. we all know why you resigned.
Normally, when I talk to a guest in AM hour, it's like we normally speak Thai.
Yeah.
But the final section is like to tell people, like the important to have the confidence to have a conversation in English because like like the past hour when you actually hear what I said, a lot of my grammar was mistakes and a lot of my accents were probably like not perfect. But the important thing is that be confident to speak in English. So please share some your opinion, some of your words about it.
I think just English is like, I think for some people like it might not come as natural, Some people might, at first they might find it challenging, So the important thing is like, you're not alone in this, You can find a friend to learn from it, I found that like the easiest way to learn English was to like talk to people, like to be able to like build my confidence talking to people, even non-native and native speakers.
I think that's a lot of people like even your supporters or your father supporters, even when they want to talk to you, but they realize that you speak English, maybe they get discouraged. So
I think for me, I think the one thing always came in my mind is that don't judge anyone, You cannot hold people to the same standard as you, Everybody has their own way of doing things. So yeah, if they can't speak English, that's fine. We have many ways of communicating. We can communicate non-verbally, like verbal and non-verbal,
And what I find fascinating about English is that once you know the language, it's not just the language, it's open the world for you. Like the books, new vocabulary, it's just change your perspective a bit too.
There's new text as well, You can read like English now, and you read like old English like 600 years ago, a lot different.
workpointTODAY สาระความรู้เพื่อวันนี้